I am Jeanette Ipapo-Tuason. I am the author of Chic Driven and the co-founder of Tuason Racing. Today, we're going to have Chic Chats where we help you to get your best life in bullet points. Today's episode is all about achieving the unexpected. We have two guests, two ladies that have been exceptional in the male-dominated field. They both compete local and international competitions. They brought honor to the country. And of course, they're both very beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elysse Menorca and Gaby de la Merced. Hi, Gaby. Hi, Elysse.
Hello. Hi,
How are
guys.
you,
Yeah.
ladies? How are you, ladies? How are you, ladies,
We're
now?
good. We're good. Trying to
Elysse, I
survive
know
the
you
pandemic.
survived. I know Elysse has been busy helping us with our race for frontliners, and Gaby also helped us on the celebrity edition, the celebrity challenge. How was that for you guys? How was that experience?
Well, yeah,
Gabi, go.
the experience one go first.
That's okay. Congratulations, by the way. And I'm having fun. Especially that's one of the things I really like doing. And as you guys know, that's how I started. That's how I started. To do racing. So I'm a gamer, and I'm glad you were able to try it, Gabby. I think you were doing that naman before, pa, right?
How about you, Gabs?
Not exactly. Well, the thing is, I've done racing video games. That's how I started. Getting like my love for racing actually started with video games.
Oh yeah.
But since I think the last time I really played was 2004.
Oh, 19 kopong-kopong.
Games one, so I'm coming into it very much a noob. But with the lockdown and everything, I've been itching to get back on the wheel. And you gave us this opportunity to, it's virtual, but surprisingly, with all the how great technology is now, it feels close. With the exception of the G-force, it feels close to the real thing. So
I know JP was saying that there's something missing now in the butt. So I don't know what he was talking about.
can't
The
feel
butt
yeah, golden butt. I call it the golden butt.
The golden butt. But we're all from the racing industry, me being one of the organizers. Is it really the starting point for people? Would you say majority of the people that went into the racing games have transcended to the real motorsports, or is it some people are just really into the video games and some people are just really onto the track activity? Elysse, how about you?
I don't think it's the norm. Not everybody came from it, and not everybody likes it. I have a lot of racer friends who don't know how to race. Well, in sim racing, but they're very good on the track. Like I've seen them race in real life. They're very good, but I don't know. It's just maybe they're not used to it. There are people like me who started from the game to the real thing, and then the others opposite. So yeah, different stories.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go through some pictures. Elysse, let's start with you. Tell us something about your career.
Oh,
Your journey in motorsports. Okay, take us
Okay,
through it.
So I started in 2016. I wasn't really much into cars back then, and then to be honest, I was just kind of influenced by the boyfriend. So there was this competition. Yeah, there was this competition of Nissan GT Academy. So they got gamers, no pros allowed, but anyway, so they got gamers to play the virtual game, and then they're gonna get from 20 people up to 6 people that will be sent to the UK. If you win, you have to be fast in terms of the virtual, and then there's a bit of physical test even. Anyway, so I was able to I discovered it, and then I joined. I tried to train a bit, and then what a bit. I trained hard for that actually, and after that, I got lucky. I got in. I guess the hard work paid off. And
Okay.
the perks of it, when you win the top six, if you're part of the top six finalists, you get to race in real life. So that's what we did in the UK, and we drove different cars in Silverstone and another track, the Bedford. So that was such an amazing experience. It's one of the most unforgettable moments of my life, well, motorsports life. And Yeah, it was really great. So after that, I fell in love with the sport and I continued racing here in the Philippines. So this one over here, this is a Corolla. It's my first race car. So it's a random car that we bought. It's pretty cheap and we just set it up to race like in Toge Battle. So I also won the I was the champion overall for the ladies class though. So there's a ladies
Okay.
class for this race and
Okay.
yeah, but then so I started there, and then after a while, I that's when I went to VS Cup for two
VS Cup,
years.
yeah.
Yes,
For
2018
2 years.
to 2019. So I think I did well, pretty well. I didn't win overall yet. Hopefully
Okay.
someday. Yeah, but
But
I think yeah,
but going back
only.
to the Nissan GT Academy, were
Mhm.
you the only female competitor at that competition?
Yes, I was a first and only so far since they stopped after our batch. For many
Okay.
years they didn't have a female, so it was a big deal for them. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's one way to boost my career somehow. I mean,
Okay.
racing career. So it helped a lot. Although I was kind
Okay.
of worried, but at the same time proud. I mean, if you can say, I was kind of proud of what happened because I got a bit of spotlight, like, oh, you did something good, you were the first female, like, oh really, wow. But yeah, and then apart from the discovering the racing, so yeah, it was really really a great experience for me.
So
So
yung
yeah.
date mo yun ng boyfriend mo, nagpi-PS4 kayong dalawa, ganun ba? Is that how your Saturday night looks like?
Yeah, well, to explain it further, he was the one who wanted to join the competition. So I had to like accompany the boyfriend, being the good girlfriend, trying to go with the boyfriend. And I got tired of like waiting and like watching him the whole time. So I decided to try it out. Since it's free for everybody. So, all ages, female, males, whatever, you can join. So I did. And then I just watched them. I tried to learn how to play the game, the basics of racing and everything. And then when my boyfriend said he thought that I could, how do you say it? Like he thought I had potential. So he
Okay.
trained me and then he said, "Okay, I will teach you the proper way of doing it." Because before I was just like playing it talaga, like random. And
So
then
from boyfriend to manager.
he became my manager. But yeah, it was funny because there was a time that I almost cried because I was like, I thought we were just having fun, but then he was training me so hard. He said, "Okay, you have to push hard since you're already there, and I think you can win this. I have to train you like a real coach." And yeah, I
Max.
remember I almost cried.
Wow.
Yeah, he was my coach, my first coach.
So ano siya, stage boyfriend. So naging
Up to
stage
now.
boyfriend. Up to now, oh my God. All right. The other thing, so Gabby, let's go to you. You know, I've witnessed a lot of Gabby's adventure on the racetrack. So Gabby,
I
take us through
know.
your journey.
Well, I started with slalom.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a father-daughter thing. Because I wasn't really born into the whole racing scene. My first race, my first time to ever see a track or even to meet racers was there mismo at my first slalom race.
Okay.
Fast forward, I enjoyed it. Right now, you could see Asian Formula 3. I was able to do that. I think that was 2006. The
Mm-hmm.
picture on the left was when I was able to race with Spoon Sports in the US with OPAC, and it was
Okay.
the Western Enduro Series Championship.
So Gabby, you were born into a racing family, right? Jojo was your cousin, right?
At ito nga eh, I don't know if I was just completely sheltered.
Okay.
My basically environment in terms of motoring was cars.
Okay.
It was like show cars. My dad used to
Mm-hmm.
have a secondhand dealership there in
Mm-hmm.
Delta, and it was just random. Like, and he would join car shows. And I remember
Okay.
going there, and laking office ako. So whenever I go to the
Mhm.
office, my dad would say, "Okay, clean this car." But brush lang in balde, di ba? But give a kid
Oh,
water and, some soap, it's like a field day. Ngayon, inisip ko child labor. But anyway, so I used to do
okay.
that a lot. And yeah, when it came to racing, I didn't really know. because the sina Kuya Jojo or Silverio side, I didn't really, or maybe malaki rin yung age gap. I don't remember meeting them. And I remember after the fact that when I started racing, that's the only time I knew that my uncle was also racing. But before that, wala talaga. But I grew up with boys, and they love video games. And the first time I got to try my first racing game, I was completely hooked. Like, what's this? Eh, may pagka-rebelde ako growing up. So,
Hanggang ngayon?
but anyway, growing up, so I remember telling my parents, as soon as I hit 18, you can't stop me. I'm gonna race. And I didn't even know what it was. I just knew, okay, sa video games, I just want to do what's in the video game. And yung uso nung time na yun was drag. I had no idea what drag was. And in my head was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. But I didn't have a car. But in my head lang, oh, sige, kakarera ako. And anyway, my parents kept on saying, yeah, you'll race. Eventually, then it near my 18th, a little past my 18th birthday, my dad was invited to the Porsche Road Challenge. I'm not sure if it's still happening, but anyway, instead of him doing it, he gave me his spot.
Okay.
And when I did it, I got natuwa because I was, I guess, the only girl and the youngest one. I got the best driving style. Then my father said, "Oh, you made potential." So no, this was before my 18th birthday. So on my 18th birthday, I got a beat up old 1980s Toyota Starlet na kinakatakutan ng mga kaibigan ko noon. Because no windows, yeah, that typical race car.
Perfect slalom, yeah.
Yeah, for slalom. They wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but I completely fell in love with it. And there, I went to my first race, kaagad, and that's where I met everyone. Like, everyone, parang when they saw me, it's like, who's this girl? Who's this girl? Who's this car? So they didn't even know me. So when I did my first stint, they asked Danny Santiago, who later on became one of my mentors, to ride with me na walang upuan. So he was like standing up at the side in between the battery of my car. And he was like, go lang. I was like, papatayin ko. Yan, papatayin ko yung taong to. But surprisingly, hindi naman siya nahulog. And that was
malakas kumapit. So
malakas.
after you did slalom, you did circuit. Because you didn't go karting, right? So you did circuit already.
Yes.
So you went to circuit. And then I remember you racing with us during the Standard Insurance days with Michelle in the Formula cars. So Gaby, I remember that you didn't go karting. You went to circuit car. And then you raced with the Standard Insurance female team with Michelle Baumgartner. Right now, what are you racing? Formula cars or circuit car?
Well, I guess I would, basing it from last year, I guess a bit of both. Because I was able to do Formula V1. And I did TA2 Asia, which is Trans Am, which were
That's circuit.
That's circuit, yes. But I'd say my background would be more on circuit cars than Formula. I've had the privilege of trying a few Formula races, which is AF3, Formula BMW, Formula Toyota, and B1. But in terms of like the background and what I'm used to, it's really more circuit.
Okay, but you became also a celebrity, di ba? Si Gaby medyo maraming pinagdaanan to eh. So, I think it's a natural progression that, from being a race car driver, a lot of the race car drivers becomes artista. So, Gaby, tell us the naging journey mo, pagiging artista.
Well, okay, when I started racing early 2000, there weren't a lot of female racers yet. So, medyo double-edged sword nun eh. But anyway, because of that also, I was given the opportunity to do Rev Challenge. That was my first stint. So, it was more on hosting gigs. Did a bunch of random hosting gigs. Then, it was with PBB. Yun. PBB was the big ticket in terms of like getting into the prime time in a sense but I was looking at it more of like a stepping stone for racing. It was
Okay.
really, at the end of the day, it was all about racing. I was like, okay, how do I need help? Because that's the number one never-ending problem in racing. It's support, financial aid.
Support.
And I
It's
was like, okay,
expensive.
let's try it. And then little did I know, I actually enjoyed it when I went into
Mm.
it. And it just, pretty much steamrolled from there, and like in terms of different gigs and stuff like that. Yeah.
You know, the next step is magiging politiko eh. That's what they
I,
said eh. It's a
Oh,
racer, artista, to politiko. Anyway, so
Done.
I have a question for you girls. How did you guys play the female card? Elysse, let's start with you.
Um, how do I say it? I mean, I know it's still there are still a few of us in the motorsports, but I mean few females in the motorsports. So like in Judo Academy, since I got the title of being the first female, for example, I made use of that in a way na I mean how do I make use how do I say it? Like you take advantage of it, you get a bit of spotlight, and being a racer, I think it's kind of important to like promote yourself because
Okay.
that's one thing that they taught us in Elysse Gita Academy. Like whether you like it or not, you kind of
You
have
have
to
to do
get
it.
spotlight. Yeah, you have to do something. I mean,
Ah,
promoting yourself and stuff like that. So somehow after that, I had a lot of interviews during that time. So I had to like
okay.
be confident with myself because I wasn't used to that before. And
Okay.
like I had to like present myself in a nice way and like I mean in terms of like
So you
representing the
use it,
team.
yeah. So you use it as an advantage, right? The female
Yeah.
card. How about you, Gabby? What was the main challenge when you were racing? Especially at that time when you were racing, medyo boys na boys talaga yung sport na yan.
Yeah. To be honest, it was, as I said a while ago, it was a double-edged sword in a sense that well, the good part was there was a lot of spotlight in a sense. Na it, they say it was easier to get sponsors, but to be honest, it was very hard, extremely hard.
Okay.
Um, there was a lot of male bravado when I started, and there were a few females, but it was more on like a recreational thing. They
Okay.
would a weekender. No one really took it seriously. Well, at least during the time that I was in, wasn't in karting yet. So I at that point I didn't meet the other karters yet.
Okay.
But anyway, so I've had a lot of interesting remarks. So there's
Oh, so did you guys feel left out? Did you guys get sa mga side remarks na, oh, babae
oh,
kasi yan eh.
I
So how did you guys use that? I mean, I guess sometimes you use it to fuel your drive, right?
oh yes, yes. Well, with me personally, I grew up kasi sickly. Sobrang sakitin. I grew up with older boys, and one of the things that I hated growing up was if they'd say no, I couldn't do a certain thing, and I'd ask why. They'd say,
Kasi
kasi babae.
rebelde ka kasi.
Oh,
Ah, kasi
Yeah.
rebelde ka kasi.
Rebelde
Elise, what do you
bata pa. As in, kasi babae. Go out,
Elise, what do
time.
you think is the advantage or disadvantage that being a girl in the competitions now? Kasi parang in Gabby's time kasi it was very different. Unlike now that
yeah,
it's more, people are more accepting.
yeah.
Before it was like it's such a novelty to have a female racer. But what do you think now? Do the competitors treat you like really seriously? Na, oh my God, I'm gonna eat this girl's dust or something.
Well, to be fair, I think I mean, somehow lucky in a way that there are a lot of females now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
considering, I mean, I'm sure Gabby can tell, diba?
Mm.
And I had a few moments before, like, I was still new in racing. There was a time I tried to join a track day. I was just in my car in the pit lane lining up to go out. And then there's this guy that approached me. He's like, I don't know if he's from here. He looked like a foreigner. But anyway, he went to me and like, hey, hi, how are you, ganyan? And then he said, oh, what are you gonna do there? You're gonna put makeup on the track? And I was like, are you
Oh,
serious? Are you
wow.
kidding me? But
Wow,
then I just
stereotype.
I was just like, no. I was like, no. Okay. And then I just ignored him. But then I thought,
Sana,
like, okay, sige, I don't know what people think of me. I mean, at first I was like feeling a bit of insecure. Like,
okay.
do I look like a joke to you? You know that feeling. But then after that, I just had to like, okay, I've got to focus if I want to learn how to race, and then And then
Mhm.
there are competitions like when you enter a race, um, some guys won't really mind you. I mean, in a way that, wala yung kalaban. And then once you
Mhm.
perform well, they'll start saying like, uy, who's that girl ba? Why is she doing well or something like that? Eh, di ba girl siya? Parang ganon. I've heard some chismes like that from other friends. Like, uy, the other guys are talking about you. Ah, okay, okay. Sige, I'll just show them what I can do. I mean, I don't care if you want to say bad things behind me and stuff like that.
I have a question. Was there any experience na kalaban mo siya, like, you guys were really fighting on the track, and then bigla naging nangligaw sa'yo? Or bigla ka
Ah,
niligawan?
hindi. Medyo
Was
ano
there
ako
any
eh, protected eh. Walang
How about
ganon. Pero
you, Gabi? May
Walang
nangyari bang
ganon.
gano'n?
Sad.
Yung una galit na galit sa'yo, tapos biglang niligawan ka pala.
There's a thin line between love and hate.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Like
So,
a rom-com series.
So you guys, ladies, you have really achieved the unexpected, especially in a very male-dominated industry. If there's something that you want to impart to the audience, if they're facing something similar, what would be your pinaka tip for them? Gabby, let's start with you.
Tip. Well, with me, I guess I'd say when starting something, it's okay to be afraid. You know,
Okay.
there's a big general misconception that pagkarerista ka, you have no fear. Obviously, people have different degrees of fear.
Mhm.
It varies from like either not wanting to lose or not wanting to get into an accident or fear of the competition or even the speed and everything. But it's something that I think, or fear of the unknown, especially if you're gonna get into something that you have no idea about, no experience about. And I think if you embrace that fear and understand it, that's when you can overcome it. You know,
Okay.
stepping into the land of the unknown is always scary,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll never know if you don't, and
Mm-hmm.
it might be the best thing in the world that's ever happened to you. So
Okay.
for me, just embrace it.
Okay. How about you, Elise?
Reading this one, as you can see on the screen, be yourself, explore, recognize the good things about you. About that, I think for based on my experience, if I didn't like try to how do I say it? To be brave and like trying out something new that I never knew
Mm-hmm.
I could do because I wasn't really into cars or even racing back then. It just happened, and then when you try to like, I think it applies to anything, right? But
Yeah.
when you try something new and then you realize, oh, I can actually do something like this, and then you improve yourself, and I think that's one way to like be successful, I guess. Does it sound too generic? But that's how it was for me. I really worked hard. And yeah, train hard with the mindset of being optimistic but expecting the worst at the same time. I am the type to be optimistic. So I try to like, oh, I can do this, I can do this. And like, you'll be able to push hard there. I mean, yeah, to push really hard and you'll be able to get good results. But at the same time, it's a balance of being optimistic and trying to expect the worst. Like you have to prepare yourself for a lot of things. Yeah, and you'll go through a lot of different things in life. I mean, in even your career in racing, like for example, being a female racer, if people underestimate you and stuff like that. But for me, even though it sounds bad for others or some female racers, I think we should use it as an advantage. Like, I think it's better being underestimated than being overestimated, right?
Okay.
So,
All right. Just to
yeah.
summarize. So just to
Mhm.
summarize from Gabby, her advice to you, our audience, is it's okay to be afraid. And if you're afraid, embrace your fear because you never know. It might be the best thing that can happen to your life. Be yourself from Elysse. And of course, train hard. Have a mindset of a winner. I think that's very important because if you have that mindset already, winner ka na talaga. But also, you have to prepare for the worst. So that training hard comes into that. So, ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. But
Yeah.
before we go,
Thank you.
I would like to ask Gabby, where can they find you? Where can they find you? Your social media, or what are you busy with?
Oh,
Please tell us.
Well, social media, to be honest, I'm so bad with social media. So the main thing that I really do now is Instagram. Gaby Dela Merced, my full name. I'm also on Facebook. But I'm usually, if I'm not on the track, I have a gallery called Vinyl on Vinyl. Please visit us. This is my other side. I'm a Gemini, so I have an excuse. But anyway,
Okay, how about you, Elysse? Where can they find you?
Oh gosh, we're both Gemini and Gabi. Anyway, I am on Facebook and Instagram. I have a page and I mean Facebook page as well. So it's all Elysse DM, shortcut for my last name. And where else? Oh yeah, I'm also part of Tuason Racing's events like the race for frontliners, and we are trying to plan something new. So I guess you guys can see me there. Just follow their page as well. So yeah.
Okay, so before we go, we're giving away a pair of headwear. So all you have
Oh.
to do, yes, headwear. So all you have to do is answer the questions in the comments below. What competition did Elysse join when she started racing? And then for Gabi, what's the name of her gallery? So put the questions below. We're looking for two winners. Put the answers below. You will win a gift pack from Headwear. So please put your answers. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Gabi and Elysse. We want to thank you for joining us and thank you for the tips and congratulations on your career.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. So, everybody, that's it. Thank you for joining Chic Chats today. I hope you learned something from achieving the unexpected. This is Jeanette Ipapo-Tuason, and we are here to help you get your best life in bullet points. Bye.